Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. Alright, so this is the August 2023 edition of the Armed Citizen. It's in a column where people report and such on those who defend themselves with the Second Amendment, which is a beautiful right, and there is nothing in Islam that says you're not allowed to lethally defend yourself. Okay? So don't let people lie to you, pretend that Islam says you just have to let criminals do whatever they want to you and you have no right to defend yourself. Alright, let's begin. A Memphis family visited Little Rock, Arkansas for their daughter's 7th birthday, taking her and their other daughter to the water parks and zoo there on Memorial Day. When they were ready to leave, they put the two girls in the vehicle, and the mother, who was pregnant, sat in the driver's seat while her husband packed up the car in a parking garage. However, an attacker came up to the man, struck him multiple times, and tackled him to the ground. Then came up to the wife and punched her. The wife drew her gun and shot the attacker in the neck. Now, what is really important about this is a pregnant woman utilized her Second Amendment and it helped save the family's life. Okay? I know that there's a lot of young unmarried men who have no kids and they kind of think women are less than human, and so they don't feel comfortable with the idea of a pregnant woman having a firearm because they infantilize the woman and keep her in perpetual childlike stigma until she enters her grave as an old lady. But here we see that a woman was fully capable to defend her family, and the attacker punched her in the face. Like, he had no mercy or empathy for her being pregnant. As a woman, you need to defend your womb at all costs. Criminals will harm you, okay? And most criminals who do these kinds of robberies are men. So as a pregnant woman, you need to be able to defend yourself from bad men, okay? So thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we women here are able to defend ourselves. And they were just having a grand old time together, and the little children got to see their mom be totally brave in the face of danger. Very important. She's a hero. Okay? Her husband, he suffered a fractured rib, and the wife had contusions on her forehead, but they still made it out alive. And that is beautiful. Very beautiful. The next one here. Neighbors called a homeowner in Shelby County, Tennessee, to inform him that several men were milling around his vehicles. The homeowner went outside to investigate and saw two men in his driveway and two other men in a white sedan parked in the middle of his street. The unknown men saw him and took off running, but one of the men also reportedly turned and shot at the homeowner, striking him in the ankle. The armed citizen returned fire, and the assailant and other suspects fled. One of the suspects was later arrested after knocking on doors in the neighborhood and yelling into his phone, "Y'all left me, come pick me up." Okay, so creepy people looking around cars and trying to cause trouble. It's very creepy. But a good thing is he got caught. 3 men allegedly attempted a home invasion April 23rd in Gwinnett County, GA. When the homeowner heard a knock and cracked open his door, the strangers reportedly kicked it in and began firing at him. Although he sustained an injury, the homeowner managed to return fire, killing one of the assailants and causing the others to flee. The 2 other men were arrested and are expected to face charges of felony murder for the death of their accomplice. The homeowner was not charged. Atlanta, Georgia. Beautiful. The criminal got what he deserved. And again, so many men think, well, your wife should never go outside without you and she will always be safe. But as we see, there are plenty of dangerous men who will come to your wife's nest and try to harm her. And it's not right for you to demand that your wife be a victim because you think it's too masculine for her to defend herself with a firearm. You have a duty to make her strong and she to protect and guard your property and her life. Every person has a right to defend their life. And criminals should not have it easy, and a criminal should fear for their life when committing crimes. They should not have easy pickings. Should not. I think that the people who do these kinds of crimes should also not be allowed to be buried. They should just be cremated and their ashes blown away in the dust. They don't even deserve to have a headstone. In Beaumont, Texas, I think that's how you say that, Beaumont, Texas, a homeowner shot and wounded a man who reportedly had broken into his house in the middle of the night on May 19th. Responding police saved the 43-year-old intruder's life by using a tourniquet to stop his bleeding and transported him to the hospital. He was to be charged with burglary upon release and held on a $100,000 bond. The Beaumont police spokesperson emphasized that the homeowner would face no charges. The suspect is the one who broke the law and committed a crime. As a result, he was shot. Okay, so here we see broken into the house in the middle of the night. Another home invasion. Alright? So, you never know who's going to be there. And you have to be wise. Now, some wives, they have husbands who work the graveyard shift. They have to be home alone. Somebody's got to work the graveyard shifts, which means the woman has to be able to defend herself. So pay attention to that. Don't listen to young men who live in a different culture with their parents and they don't actually have to face crime the same way. Alright? The person who lives in the city is going to face different crime than one in the rural area. Even a rancher needs to have a firearm in case a crazy hippie on drugs runs naked through his field and he's got to whoa, handle that person. You got to be careful wherever you are. A homeowner in Towns County, Georgia, arrived home a little after midnight on May 20th. As she entered, she reportedly discovered a intruder in the home, walking toward her and wearing her husband's clothes. The woman drew her gun and held the suspect at gunpoint until police could arrive. Once they arrived, the robber allegedly attempted to flee, but deputies tackled him and arrested him. He was charged with felony burglary and was connected with vehicle robberies in the same area. So he faces an additional 20 counts of felony entering an automobile, Towns County Sheriff's Office. Now, what you see here, the criminal was so sneaky. He put on her husband's clothes so that when she first came in, she would recognize the clothing and let her guard down. Clever criminal. How creepy is that? This psychopath is walking around in her home wearing her husband's clothes. Quite freaky. So notice here, the criminal can come to you while you're sleeping in the night or during the day, or they can already be there when you come home. And she, a woman, was able to defend her life. Again, she's a hero. Every woman who uses the Second Amendment to defend herself is a hero in my eyes because they show that you have to be able to defend yourself and that men can help you, true, but they're not always going to be your shadow. Alright? This world is dangerous. You gotta be smart. You are not a queen who's going to have bodyguards 24/7. You have to be brave. And to be brave doesn't mean you're not feminine. It means you're smart. Okay? I mean, for Pete's sake, if I go to a chihuahua try to take his puppy, he's gonna get angry at me. If I go and try to put my hand in an eagle's nest, she's gonna peck me. Okay? If a crocodile spots me messing with her egg, she's gonna come take my leg. I mean, if animals, some of them at least, will protect their babies, why wouldn't a female human? I mean, I would love to see somebody just go up to a mother gorilla and try to take her baby away and see what she does. See what she does. See if she's just going to let you take it and harm it. It's just ridiculous. When a 77-year-old homeowner in Ann Arbor, Michigan, heard what sounded like someone opening his screen door around dinner time on May 24th, he found someone already in his kitchen. The stranger, a tall man who looked to be in his 20s, had apparently forced his way through a window over the sink. The homeowner fired one shot at the intruder, who fled through the same window. He went out head first, the armed citizen told reporters. He was younger than me, no doubt stronger than me. I'm 77 years old, and he was in my house, and I defended myself. Okay, so another example of an elderly man. His young sons aren't there to protect him. He's able to utilize his Second Amendment to protect his life. It's important for people to have the Second Amendment. I'm very pro that. I don't care about these statistics of a couple crazy people who act weird. We have to focus on the good as well. And you won't see that reported. You won't barely see it reported. Instead, you'll see the de-arming of America agenda, which hurts us people because the border's wide open. Plenty of gangs get illegal weapons, okay? And there's plenty of corruption in the world that will always have some form of weapons existing. Humans are violent, even with their bare hands, okay? As you look through the records of criminals, they'll utilize so many different things besides a firearm to hurt you. You have to be brave against evil. It's good versus evil, okay? Good versus evil. And good people have a right to defend their life. A 24-year-old man returning to his car from a mall in Chicago, Illinois, on May 28th, was approached by two suspected carjackers. At least one of the alleged assailants was armed and reportedly began firing on the car owner. But he drew his own firearm and returned fire, shooting one of them in the thigh. The injured suspect was arrested after being treated at the hospital. The other suspect was caught only a few minutes after the attempted carjacking. That was in Fox News, Chicago, Illinois. There was also 12newsnow.com, WSBTV.com news station, WXYZ.com, another news station. You can follow WREG.com news station. So they report from a lot of local news. I like to follow different local newses, even if I'm not from that area, because they'll cover different stories than kind of the bigger networks, which is important for you to look at, because you get to see what the other states are suffering with and see the overall health of the union. And it's very important for us to know what's really going on in the real world and not Kardashian baloney. Okay, so a pregnant woman defended herself. We had an elderly man. People just minding their own business in their home. A woman coming home, seeing a stranger in her house, dressed up in her husband's clothes. Total creepo. Alright? Tons of examples where women had to learn. And it's very important for American Muslim women to not take life advice or security advice from people who live in countries with their own problems, and they treat their women in a different way, and their police force, their legal system is totally different, and so they don't have that same gang problem. They have other problems with their own life, whatever. We have a specific problem here of gang culture, and we have to survive. Okay? Period. And no one can judge us for wanting to survive. Right? Get educated, learn, and the Armed Citizen blog is AmericanRifleman.org. And then just remember, you can go on AmericanHunter.org and see more educational stuff about hunting and whatnot. And I really, like, for example, just look on this page. They got all, like, these types of things that you'll need. The machinery for your homestead. It's, great gift for your husband, if you want to get him something nice. Reward him for all his hard work if he allows you to have the budget. And there's some political stuff in here as well. You see a lot of kind of annoying Trump ads, but what do you expect? But other than that, it's actually really educational. And I highly encourage you to read more in this magazine because they put a lot of educational things concerning camping, hiking, fishing. I mean, even different types of flashlights that you need for different distances and whatnot. So it's a very good magazine, and it comes with the NRA membership. But I'm sure that you can also just sign up for just the magazine, and it's packed full of knowledge. I don't think everything should be digital because there's something nice just about holding a magazine instead of just having everything on your phone. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you'd like to join my blog, it's www.subscribestar.com/MilahanArchive. Hope to see you there.